Couldn't have done it during the laugh. I'm gonna wait till it gets really quiet to open this beer. Shh. Just pulling the ripcord. Was that you, cowboy? What the hell? Oh, man. I don't know. Both boys are potty training right now, which is fine. I thought it was gonna be hard to get him to go to the bathroom on the toilet. That's actually easy. The nightmare is the wiping. That is an absolute nightmare. So we still insist with our kids, like, hey, let us help you. Let us supervise this. I don't want you repainting the walls. Like, why don't we just... Right? And so we always insist that, and I don't mind wiping them. I don't mind doing that. I've been doing it their whole life. What I do mind is the way that they tell me that they're ready to be wiped. That really pisses me off. Because I'll be across the place, and all of a sudden I'll just hear this little voice like, I'm done! Just like an inbred prince ringing a bell. I wanted to tell you guys this story. When my wife was 7 months pregnant with our little girl, the boys were driving her nuts. They're just bouncing off the walls, and she was having a rough day. And so I was like, you know what? Let me just get them out of your hair. Let me take them to a park or something. So I did. We were gone for a couple hours, and when I came back, my wife was in tears. And I was like, whoa, are you okay? Is everything all right? And she goes, oh, Nick, thank God you're back. When you left, I got a little hungry, so I made myself a sandwich. And then I took a bite, and I started to choke. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm choking. I'm home alone. Nobody's here to help me. I'm 7 months pregnant. I can't even give myself the Heimlich with a chair. What would have happened if I just choked to death right here, laid down dead, 7 months pregnant? You come up with our 2 little boys, and they see their mother right here dead, 7 months pregnant. What would you have done in that moment, Nick? Huh? What would you have done in that moment, huh? You come up with our 2 little boys, and I'm laying here dead. Be dead, you boys. What would you have done? It's like, oh. My God, I would have remarried so fast. I'm not raising kids of my own. Are you crazy? I would have taken new wife to your funeral. That's how fast. You guys took that so much better than she did. She didn't think that was funny at all. But I get it. I know moms have a hard job. I know that. I know that moms have a hard job. I know that because she tells me every day. Every single day. I have it harder than you! Right? She'll call me when I'm on the road doing comedy. She'll call me, and I'll be like in a hotel room. She's like, what'd you do today? Huh? Oh, did you take a nap? Take a nap? I got thrown up on. What'd you do? Right? And I used to feel bad about it. I used to feel bad that I got to travel and, do something I love, tell jokes, get long naps in hotel rooms. I used to feel bad about that. And then I realized it doesn't matter what I do. She would hate me regardless. She would. She would hate me regardless of what I do. Like, I could go to prison for life. Right? And she would still think I had the easy road. Right? And she would come visit me, just spite visit me every single day. Just show up with that little piece of glass that we can talk through on the phone, and I'd show up, she'd be like, well, look who it is. What'd you do today? Oh, did you read a book? Must be nice. Huh? What'd you do? Eat 3 meals you didn't have to prepare? Must be nice. What'd you do? Have time with yourself? Recess? A boyfriend? Must be nice. You disgust me. Oh yeah? Well, what I wouldn't give to make my own toilet wine. She has these tipping points. She's normally great, and then sometimes she just has these tipping points where I know she just has to get out of the house. I know that. I found this out one day when I was gone for like 5 straight days on the road. And when I came back, I had a show in town that night. So I literally just had enough time to like open up the door, drop off my suitcase, and I looked at her, I was like, hey, I love you, I'll see you after the show. And she just slowly started walking toward the door, just leaves in her hair. And she just goes, tell me what the people are wearing? Oh man, you gotta get out of the house. I know when she's gotta get out of the house, because she started believing everything that she reads on the internet. Yeah, she doesn't have any time to fact check anything, so she just reads an article and she's, there you go, that's true. I was putting Coffee Mate in my coffee the other day, and she looked at me all serious and she goes, you sure you wanna do that? It's like, I think so. Why, did you poison it? She's like, nope, but I read an article the other day that said that Coffee Mate is made from the anal secretions of beavers. It's like, oh, you gotta get out of the house. There's no way that's real. There's no way Coffee Mate just has some giant warehouse somewhere filled with beavers. And all of a sudden, the product starts to get low on the shelves, and they just send some guy. They're like, hey, Frank, Coffee Mate's getting low. Get in there. And he's all leery. He's like, I don't like squeezing their hind ends. They nip at me. You know what the weirdest part about that joke is? She's actually right. Yeah, fake vanilla extract is made from the anal secretions of beaver. That is 100% a true fact. You don't believe? Who in here knows this? Somebody in here knows this. Right there, boom, fact check, right there. I promise, look it up when you get home. I don't know what to tell you. Drink hazelnut. I don't know what to say, okay? I don't know what to do. Sorry to ruin your mornings, you guys. But fake vanilla extract in your French vanilla Coffee Mate is made from beaver secretions, and I don't know who the hell figured that out. I don't know who found out that that was delicious in your coffee, like just what? Was it just some rancher just meandering along a stream one day? Right? Takes a sip of his coffee, he's just like, oh, tasteless ass coffee. Looks like the beaver built another dam. Get over here, Mormon! Oh, yeah! Oh, the best part of waking up is beaver juice in my cup. You guys applaud, but tomorrow morning you'll go get it and you'll be like, oh, damn it. Hey, do we have any half and half? My wife, she, I know she has it hard, man. I know. And she makes fun of me too. She makes fun of me too. Tell me if you've ever heard this before. She is insistent that men, just like women, have a hormonal cycle that they go through on a monthly basis. Have you ever heard this? See, I've only ever heard women say this. I've only ever heard women say, I've never heard a man be like, hey fellas, I'm ragging pretty hard, I better head home. I've never been at poker night where one guy just casually pushes his chips into the middle and he's just like, oh, it's a heavy flow tonight, gentlemen. But my wife is convinced, and anytime I'm in a little bit of a bad mood and feeling a little pissy, she'll just look at me and be like, oh, I know what's happening. Somebody's on his man period. That's right, Nick, you wouldn't be acting this way if you weren't on your man period. And I'm like, well, first of all, don't invalidate my feelings. Everything's valid, the volume's just turned up a bit. And secondly, do we have any chocolate? Dude, a man period? Listen, I'm not on my man period. If I were, you would not see me the entire day, okay? That would be the saddest afternoon at all time. I would never leave the bedroom if I were on my period. I would just be laying in my bed, naked, just dabbing him with a Kleenex. Just Enya playing in the background, just, who can say where the road goes when nobody knows? On the outside. That's too gross, isn't it? That was too gross. I don't know where the line is anymore. Was it too gross? Some people yes, some people no. I don't know. At the very least, we can agree that it's a little bit femme to dab it with a Kleenex, right? It's a little too delicate. Like, that wouldn't be a man period. Right? We're gonna have to butch it up if it's a man period. We don't use Kleenex. We use, like, brawny paper towels, right? And we wouldn't be tender at all with it. We wouldn't be, we'd be like, cough it up, buddy! Oh, hold your hair back, you got this! I don't know. My wife and I, we spent the whole pandemic just watching TV together. That's it. That's all we did. We just got to the bottom of Netflix. That's all we did. And man, we watch TV together, and like I watch HGTV with her, which I hate that channel. I hate that channel so bad, man. They're just liars. That's all that is, just liars. They just come out of a 3-story house. They're like, hey, we just remodeled this whole place in a half an hour. You can do it yourself. No, I can't. I tried. I tried to fix a light. I got electrocuted 7 times. We retiled our bathroom floor. I was trying to fix up our place during the pandemic. I was like doing little things here and there. I was scraping popcorn ceilings to increase square footage. We retiled the bathroom floor, and this is how I found out that I have not matured at all in my 30s. Because it took us 2 weeks to retile the bathroom floor, and not once during that entire 2 weeks did I ever get sick of making the joke when my wife asked for more caulk. Not one time. Not one time. She'd be, hey, Nick, will you bring me? I'm like, the caulk, you need the caulk in there. It's been 3 days. That's still funny to you? Never not funny. It's not funny enough they call it caulk, but they put it in a gun. It's a caulk gun! Do you need my caulk gun? Took us 2 weeks to retile this bathroom floor, and if you've never retiled a bathroom before, the first thing you have to do is you have to take off the toilet. So I took off the toilet, I set that aside, the 3-year-old pooped in that. Like right away, too. I turned my back, he's like, I'm done! I'm like, I know you're done, I can smell that you're done. So I dealt with that, and then I started to tile. And I started at the doorway, and I was laying down tile, and you work your way toward where the toilet used to be. And then you get as close as you think you need to the little ring of death, and the little circle where the business goes down. You get as close as you think you need to that, and then you wait like a day or two for everything to cure. And I waited the proper amount of time. I came back, I put the toilet back on, and there was a huge gap. Yeah, there was a huge gap between the tile and the toilet, and I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that's not good. My wife walked in, she's like, what the? Oh, nice job. Nice job, there's a huge gap. What the hell are we gonna do now? I was like, there's only one thing we can do. Gonna need to caulk it, right? She was looking at it, she's like, that's way too big of a gap. Caulk's not gonna fill that. I was like, they make it in black. It should be fine, I'm pretty sure they make it in black. Have we found the line yet? Comedy's weird right now, you guys. We're living in a weird time in society, man, where you're just like, all anybody's doing is just like watching things inside their house. That's it. The whole country's just watching Netflix and pornography inside their house. That's all they're doing. And on Netflix, I've seen what's trending. It's all shows about murder. That's all we're watching, apparently. That's it. You got Making a Murderer. You got Ted Bundy files. You got World War II in color. Ooh, in color now. We got like 13 levels of CSI. We got Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Ooh, I like it when the victims are special. That's it. That's all society's doing is watching pornography and shows about death, and yet somehow we're still easily offended at jokes. How is that the cross-section of humanity? How is this where we've ended up as a society? It's so weird. That's it, man. We're just inwardly gross and outwardly appalled. That's all we're doing. That's it. Like some of you will be going home after the show tonight. You'll be walking to your car outside the theater and you'll be like, you know what, he's right. We never did see season 2 of Making a Murderer. We should get back on that. And in the same breath, you'll be like, but can you believe what that gentleman said about the man, period? I have a good mind to write the mayor. That's it, man. We spent time watching TV and I got back into video games, which I know is super nerdy and stupid. Oh, we got a couple gamers out there? By the way, video games have become amazing, but they are super nerdy. Like, I realize that. Like, my buddy was like, oh, get the system. We can play during the pandemic. And so I bought the system, and I bought the nerdy headset where I can talk to him like I'm a trucker going down. And I'm doing things that I think are very cool. Like, I get emotionally invested in these video games. I buy in. But the problem is, I bought the headset that only had the one ear hole, and the other one, I can hear everything happening inside my place. So the whole time I'm playing and thinking I'm very cool, I can hear my wife cutting me down as a man. Just letting me have it inside. Like, I'm playing wartime video games. I'm sniping people from off of rooftops. I'm trying to use the military language. I'm like, watch out, fellas, you got a bogey on your rear. She's like, look out, guys, you've got a bogey on your rear. Hey, knock it off. I got hit the other day. I'm like, I'm hit. She's like, help me, help me. Somebody kiss my boo-boo! Suppose no thanks are in order. I just killed Hitler. She always talks to me after I play games, like I play Madden football, and I'll just play for hours at a time, and she'll just confront me. She's like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? What are you doing? Wait, let me ask you, do you honestly think that you are Super Bowl MVP quarterback? Do you really think that? And I was like, hey, yeah, I do. Yeah, by the way, back to back, okay? Show me a little respect around here. I got the Batman video game. Have you played that? You get to walk around as the Dark Knight just kicking ass. And you're just walking around, you're like, nothing can stop the Batman. But eventually you like run into the end of the world that you don't know was there. Right? You don't see it on the map, but it's just all of a sudden you can't go any further, and you're just running around kicking ass, and all of a sudden you're like... Guess Batman can't go south. But I like video games, man, because they're an escapist opportunity. You know, a lot like this is. It's a chance to forget about things and you can escape, because I still have fantasies. I still have all kinds of fantasies. You have any fantasies right there, man? Yeah? Yeah, like, I wish I could fly. You ever wish you could fly? Hell yeah. When was the last time you tried? Nobody tries anything anymore. Come on, dude, you gotta get out there. I go out once a month and just give it hell. Just, come on! Because you don't know, maybe that mutant gene is just like dormant for the first 30 years of your life. I think after the show, you should give it a try, dude. I really do. I really do. By the way, I think you all should after the show. I think you should all go out there and try to fly. There's enough of us in here. I'm pretty sure there's a pretty good shot one of us will take off. And listen, I get it. Listen, if you're too ashamed or scared or like self-conscious to try to fly after the show, like here's the perfect time to try to fly. Next time you're breaking up with someone. That is the perfect time to try to fly. Because it doesn't matter what the results is. It's win-win either way. Right? If you don't end up flying that time, but you're breaking up with this girl and she's devastated. She's crying at the end of it, you know? You're breaking her heart. And you're like, you know what? It's not you, it's me. Dun, 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 dun! And she's just looking over at you like, oh, it is him. She's drying her eyes. She doesn't even feel bad. Feels like she dodged a bullet there. Right? But maybe today's your day. Maybe today's the day you're gonna take off and you're breaking up with her and you know what? She didn't treat you right anyway. And so you're like, you know what? I think we should see other people. And you just, boom! See ya, bitch! She's like, Steve could fly? Why did we drive to Denver? Still have these fantasies, man. I think all guys have them. I think all guys think they're tough. And most of us aren't. Some people are. Some people are tough, and the rest of us are just living in a fantasy life inside our head. Like sometimes I think I just like pass a guy in the street and I don't like his look. I'm just like, could kick that guy's ass. I always fantasize about telling people off in male restrooms at the airports. Because I got news for you, 4 out of 5 guys aren't washing their hands after the bathroom. Yeah, 4 out of 5 guys. I fact-checked that. You know how? I sat in a bathroom for a half hour during a layover in O'Hare. Yeah, I sat in there, I was just making check marks. And I was just silently making check marks of all the guys that weren't, and I was really quiet, but in my head, I was calling every single one of them out. In my head, I was like, what are you doing? Are you going to, go wash your hands. Go wash your hands, you gross sack of crap. In reality, I'm quiet, but in my head, I'm like, go wash your hands! Right? And in my head, they talk back. They're like, what are you going to do about it? I was like, you'll find out what I'm going to do about it. They're like, what, are you going to kick my ass? I was like, no, because you got to wash your hands. They're dirty. Wash up. I have all these fantasies, man. You ever get an Amber Alert text on your phone? You ever get one of those? Yeah? What do? You get an Amber Alert text. What do? Nothing. Monster. Monster. A kid's been abducted. Someone needs you. You do nothing. You just delete the text. I don't. I get up off the couch. I'm on the case. Yeah, hell yeah. Low-level vigilante. Hang in there, Timmy. I'm coming for you, buddy. Right? No, in reality, I'm on the couch, but in my head, I'm out there. In my head, I'm memorizing license plates. What is it, a brown Nissan Altima? Pervert, yeah, of course he drives a brown Nissan Altima. And I'm out there, and I just want to be cop for a day. Don't you want to be cop for a day, right? All the power, none of the training. Right? And in reality, I'm on the couch, but in my head, I'm out there. I'm out there. I'm out there looking for him. I'm like, where is he? Where is he? And then in your mind, you don't mess up, right? You catch up to that brown Altima, and you're like, there he is. Yep, the license plate checks out. You call 911. Beep, boop, boop. Yeah, that Amber Alert text you sent out, I'm on his tail. They're like, great job. Fall back. You're like, nope, I'm taking the lead on this one. Right? You got to go up there, and then you got to do a pit maneuver. Haven't you always wanted to do a pit maneuver? Right? I've watched cops. You just get right up on their tail and then you nudge them with your bumper. Like, I don't care about my bumper. Just nudge them. Just boom. Their car spins out and the pervert takes off because he's a coward. You get out of your car, you check on Timmy. You're like, hey, man, you okay? He's like, no, bitch. So now you're on foot. And you're running, and you're chasing him down, and you catch up to him because you're blazing speed, right? Doesn't matter that you're almost 40, you can still run super fast. Just chase him down, and then you do a form tackle, right? You do a form tackle, and then you do a citizen's arrest. Haven't you always wanted to do a citizen's arrest? Hell yeah. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. If you could not afford an attorney, the state will provide you with one. That's all I know, because that's all they ever say on TV. Can't wait till the next time you guys get an Amber Alert text. You're like, should I get out? No. If I'm gonna be a cop, I'm gonna want coffee, and there's French vanilla, that's all we have. So my wife and I, all we did was we just sat there and we watched TV. And sometimes I'd tweet something out from the toilet. And I got in trouble. I got in trouble during the pandemic because I said something that I thought was funny. And then a bunch of people let me know that I wasn't. And like right away. Tell me if I was overstepping here. All I wrote. And by the way, let me preface this by saying I have the utmost respect for doctors and nurses. I think they do an amazing job, and I think they work very hard at what they do, and it's amazing. I do. I absolutely think that. Okay? Absolutely 100% think that, but all I said was, I think if you die in the hospital, you shouldn't have to pay. That's all I said. That's it. And so many people were like, we work hard! We're doing the best we can! And I was like, I just think that'd be a good consolation prize, right? Like, I understood you tried, but you fell short this time. I don't think I should have to pay for that. I think that'd be kind of a fun little thing for everybody around, just like you hear, beep, beep, free! I need things to be free, man. In case my wife touches my leg again. I need it, man. Kids are expensive. Kids are expensive. We had 3 car seats. We had to buy the oldest one a new one the other day because apparently now in America you have to be in a car seat till you're 100 pounds. It's a little excessive, isn't it? 100 pounds? Like I was a little kid growing up. I didn't weigh 100 pounds when I turned 16, you guys. Yeah, I'd have been driving to high school in a booster seat. Be out there trying to find a prom date like, what's up, ladies? You girls hungry? You want some animal crackers or something? Try and make it look tough in my 5-point harness. Tilt it back, swirl my sippy cup. You ladies get hungry, you let me know. I've got a chicken nugget in here somewhere. It wasn't like that when I was growing up in the 80s in the Midwest. That wasn't what safety looked like. I distinctly remember riding in the back of my dad's truck, pretending like I was surfing. Right? While he was in the driver's seat trying to toss me like... He'd just take a hard left, I'd yard, just crank my head on the wheel well as I went tumbling out the back like, oh, that was a good one, Dad. I thought you were going right, but you went left. Oh, man, I am leaking. Oh, that's okay. I don't need a brain. I'll just be a comedian. Now the wife and I have kids, we just watch TV. That's it. And that's cool, but TV is starting to get me in a little bit of trouble, you guys. Like, let me know if this is happening to any of you fellas out there. Like, anytime my wife and I are watching some show together, and the guy in the show starts to cheat on the girl in the show, my wife is always looking over at me. You have something you'd like to say? We were watching something the other day, and the guy in the show turns to the girl, and he says, well, I don't know if you know this, but all men want threesomes. was like, what the hell? All men want threesomes? Why would a property brother say that? Why would that ever come up? All men want threesomes? I'm sitting here watching this with my wife, and I just feel her head turn. Start to bore a hole into the side of my face. I look over, I'm like, what? She goes, huh? Do you? Do you want a threesome? And I knew this wasn't like an invitation or anything. But I also knew I couldn't say no because the guy on TV just said all guys. What, am I not a guy? I'll tell you what, I thought faster than I've ever thought in my entire life. That's exactly what I said to her right there when she goes, do you want a threesome? I go, if I could have two of you? Right? Oh, dude! She pitched that up, I was like, get that out of here! Oh, in that moment, I was so proud of myself, you guys. And then in the next moment, I remembered, she's a twin. We're trying to teach these kids right. We're trying to raise them right together. I think it's very important. We always pray at the dinner table. I think that's important if that's something you believe in. We always pray before each meal. But it's weird because my wife and I, we had never prayed in front of each other before. So I found out we do it differently. Like, I always pray to God, and my wife always prays to Jesus, which I think is weird. She think that's weird? I finally asked her, I was like, why do you pray to Jesus instead of God? She goes, what's the difference? I go, what's the difference? When you pray to Jesus, it's kind of like, come on, man, put your supervisor on the phone. I don't need Jesus picking up making small talk. I got real problems. Go get daddy. I don't know. My hope coming out of this pandemic is that we come out of it tighter as a country than we went in. I hope that happens. I really do. I really hope every single person in this country learns something from this and has a little more understanding for people because, going in, we felt fractured. It was like everybody was yelling at each other. You watch the news or social media and everybody's just bickering back and forth and you think, oh man, we don't agree at all. But I gotta tell you, I travel to like 30, 35 states a year. I meet people from all different walks of life. We are more alike than we are different. I'll tell you that much right now. Yeah. 99.9% of people just want what's best for them, their family, and their neighbor, and that's it. That's it. 99% of us are somewhere in the middle on most things. The problem is, you have crazy people in this country. That's a huge problem, because they're all yelling at each other from the far ends on every single topic, and we're left in the middle like going, oh, I guess I gotta pick a side. No, you don't. Keep it in the middle, you guys. Keep it in the middle. We don't have to fight amongst eeach other. Stop listening to the insane people, and they'll stop talking. They'll stop getting their platform. Just keep it on the tracks. And I'll give you the perfect example. Huge issue in this country, gun control. And there aren't just two sides, there are three. You have most of us in the middle, and then you've got wingnuts on the far ends. You've got most of us in the middle where we're like, you know what, for the most part, guns are okay, but yeah, we should probably have a few restrictions, right? Like if a guy runs into a gun store mad and he's like, I need a gun right now. Like, hurry, she's getting away. I don't know, maybe we count backwards from 10 with that guy. Right? But then you got the crazy people on each side. You got the crazy people way on the left. They're like, that's it. Can't have guns anymore. In fact, to make America safe, we gotta go get the guns, put them in a pile, melt them down. That's how we make America safe. Okay. So this person's plan for peace is to go take guns away from people who have guns. Let me know if that's a peaceful process. Let me know when you're wrangling the AK out of Jessup's fingers if he's going quietly. Right? But then you got the crazy people way on the other side that are like, everybody needs a gun. Everybody needs a gun. You going to kindergarten, Timmy? Don't forget your handgun, buddy. Don't forget that. And these are the crazy people that think we need those power weapons to defend ourselves against the government. That's cute. If we ever have to fight the United States government, they are going to beat the hell out of us. And they won't even need weapons to do it. They'll just turn off our Wi-Fi. We'll all be outside like, what the hell? Fine, take me then. I don't want to live if I can't watch porn on the toilet. But I do agree that the government's gotten too big for their britches and they don't have our best interest at heart. So we do need some level of protection against them. So, here's what I recommend. We, the people of the United States of America, as a group, to defend ourselves against the government, we get one nuke that's just ours. Right? The military can have the rest, but we get one shiny warhead. And we just get to plant it underneath Congress and just hire somebody that's got like 6 kids with their finger hovering right over the button, and she's just staring them down. You better do what we want you to! But you can't just trust her, like she might go rogue, so you gotta have somebody behind her with like a rocket launcher pointed at her. Yeah, checks and balances, that's how we'll set this bad boy up. Yeah, and it'll just be a long line of gradually de-escalating weapons like that. Like you got rocket launcher guy behind her, and behind rocket launcher guy, you got bazooka guy, and it just keeps going down. You got like shotgun guy, handgun guy, nail gun guy, cock gun guy. You could be the cock gun guy, that could be you. And it just keeps going down, like knife guy, shank guy, blow dart guy. All the way down, like brass knuckles, bare knuckles, bitch slap guy. Throw it back. All the way down till eventually it's like noogie guy, wedgie guy, like swirly guy, like Indian burn guy, like fart cupping guy who's just chucking his farts. All the way down till just eventually, at the end of the line, it's just my dad standing there and he's like, I'm not mad, but I'm disappointed. Thank you guys so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. This means the world to me. Thank you
Thank you.